instructor with the aviation program. That's right, aviation program, Brian Klinger. Hi, Brian.
Hi, thanks for having me.
Yeah, good to see you. Thanks for coming in on your summer vacation.
Teachers are never really on vacation, so just not with the kids is all.
You've got a program that a lot of people had no idea existed, aviation in high school. That's pretty unusual, isn't it?
It is. It's new to us. Last year was our first year teaching it, so we taught freshman level. It's a 4-year program, and the curriculum is put out by AOPA, which is Aircraft Owners and Pilots Association. And so they build a curriculum, and you kind of apply to say, yes, we'd like to teach that, and you actually have to go through an approval process. So we went through that. Carrie Bashinsky talked to Clint White, who owns Jackson Flight, and he's the one that introduced the program to us, and then they talked to me to see if I was interested in teaching it.
Because you are not a pilot.
Not yet.
Not yet.
I would like to eventually be. That's something I would like to work on, but I do fly radio controlled airplanes, and our counselors knew that, so when we talked about this program, they thought that it might be a good fit for me to kind of jump in.
Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing, isn't it? RC.
As far as the physics go, absolutely. Yep.
Now, you come from a math background. That's what you've been. How long have you been teaching math?
I just finished my 32nd year of teaching.
32nd year. Awesome.
Yep. So yeah, I've been teaching math. I've taught a couple PE classes, a couple weight training classes also, but this curriculum can be credited either as math or science. And so because I'm math certified, we kind of went the math route, so the kids get a general math credit for taking the course as well.
So RC airplanes, there are rules and FAA and everything,
Yep.
and drones are very, very popular. You have to have a
Absolutely.
license to be certified to drive a drone too, right?
Well, if you're an amateur, no. If you're an amateur, there are rules you have to follow, like flight heights, areas you can fly in, that kind of thing. But if you wanted to be a commercial drone pilot, yes, you have to be certified for that. And part of our program, you would actually, by their junior year, they'll actually be ready to take their FAA test to become certified to fly drones. They can actually fly drones commercially and make money at 16.
Yeah, and that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so our goal is to have kids ready for that eventually.
Looking for ways to get kids in a career right out of high school.
Absolutely.
So the 4-year, being 4 years, by the time they graduate, if they go through all 4 years, when will they be able to fly a real airplane?
They could actually start, our goal, and the program's goal is by the end of the 3rd year, they can take their FAA ground school tests, and then they can start flight school during their senior year. So we're working with Clint White right now at Jackson Flight so the kids can kind of segue into his flight program, and they will still take the class from us, which is about flight planning and that sort of thing. I'm still new at some of that because I haven't taught that yet, so I tell the kids I'm learning with you guys.
Yeah.
So I'm about some days a day ahead of them, some days right with them, but by the time we get to that 4th year, then they'll be ready, if they choose to then take flight school, and then it's a matter of funding and that kind of thing. The school's probably not going to pay for that, but
right. Yeah, because it costs a lot to fly an airplane.
Right.
Are these kids that are in the program, do they want to do this for a profession then?
Some do. I have one student that was a senior this last year who is actually taking this flight school right now. So he's close to getting a student pilot license. And this is what you're seeing on the screen is one of the trips we took out to the Jackson Airport for the kids to get in and kind of see the control tower. That's the flight school there, one of their airplanes. But yeah, so I have one kid that's currently taking lessons and actually working at Jackson Flight, and I have another student who's beginning to take lessons. So kids can start taking flight lessons at any age. They just can't get their student license until they're 16, and then they can get their pilot's license, their private pilot's license at 17.
So you can learn to fly an airplane even before you could be licensed?
You can, yep.
What types of planes are these that, well, obviously the helicopter, but...
So the airplanes that Clint has out there for the flight school are Cessnas. Okay. They're mostly, that's a Cessna 172 right there.
Mm-hmm. And there are, give us an idea, you know, obviously airline pilots, what other jobs are kids interested in that require a pilot?
Well, if you're, some of it's just recreation. They just want to be able to fly themselves and their family. We're actually currently in talks with JC about starting our program. Kids can work through our program, get to their private pilot's license, and then go to JC get their instrument rating and then their commercial rating, and then be able to fly commercially.
Ah, that's breaking news.
Yep.
JC might be bringing back their
They
aviation
are
program.
planning on it. Yep. So we just actually had a meeting with them on Monday with us, JC, and then Clint about how we can work the three of us together to get this program to ours to move forward, and then JC's to not really reinvent, but kind of revamp their program.
Yeah, it's great to hear because I think back when JC had a flight school, there was a private or two flight schools, and they were all, competing, and then that didn't help anybody.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So being an aviation instructor, using math, that's, I'm sure, a big part of flying, but it's, I guess, STEM, it really fits in STEM program.
It is a STEM-based program, and it's a project-based learning program. So the kids do projects. Every unit has a project in it. So one of the projects, the kids built a hot air balloon. And so they built those in groups, and we went out to the baseball field, and we were able to heat those up, and the kids got to see if they fly and make adjustments. So that's a lot of it too, is as you build it, okay, that worked, that didn't work, how can we make adjustments and then make it better?
I'm surprised to see as many kids as you had in that photo. How many are in the program?
So we've had about 25 kids altogether that have been in the program. I had a couple that dropped out, a couple that added once they found out about the program. But we have one class, we finished with 21 students in the class this year. And that was kind of the enrollment of it through the year. Next year we have 2 freshman level classes. So we have 44 students in the freshman level class. And then these students that I had this year then are taking the second year course. And I have 19 kids that are taking the second year course. So we have about 63 kids that are jumping into the program already.
That's amazing.
I was surprised.
Yeah, I'm surprised to hear that. And what are the kids saying? Particularly the ones that have been through the year.
They really like the project base. They like that it's hands-on, they're trying things, they get to play around and not necessarily play around, but they get to try things, see what works, reinvent. We talk about a lot of engineering principles about, okay, how do we make this better? How does your group talk and kind of argue with each other about what worked and what didn't? So we talk a lot about professionalism, about communication, those kinds of things as well.
Awesome. Very exciting to hear about in high school, an aviation program right here in Jackson. Well, I'm glad you're heading it up, and I'm glad you're here today.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, have a great summer.
Thank you, you as well.
Thanks. Aviation program instructor at Northwest High School, Brian Klinger. Stay with us. We've got